Most people think they need more time, so they wake up at 5 a.m., cut their sleep short, and cram more into their calendar. But here's what they're missing: the secret isn't adding more hours to your day, it's multiplying the value of the hours you already have. Think about this. One person works 8 hours and accomplishes what takes someone else 3 entire days. Same tasks, same deadlines, completely different results. And the difference, it's not effort, it's not intelligence, it's strategy. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to restructure a single hour so it produces triple the output, triple the progress, and feels less exhausting. Because here's the truth: most people ignore the busiest people aren't the most productive. And the most productive people, they rarely feel busy. We've been taught that productivity means doing more, moving faster, filling every single minute. But that approach doesn't lead to success, it leads to burnout, scattered focus, and shallow work that doesn't actually move the needle. You know the feeling. You spend your day jumping between back-to-back meetings, checking email every 10 minutes, multitasking like your life depends on it. And by the end, you're exhausted. You were busy all day, but what did you actually accomplish? Here's the shift. Productivity isn't about time spent. It's about energy managed and attention directed. After studying how top performers structure their time, a clear pattern emerged: they don't work longer. They work in concentrated bursts with ruthless prioritization. They protect their focus like it's their most valuable asset. So if cramming more tasks into an hour doesn't work, what does? It starts with understanding the hidden structure of high output hours. The first strategy is simple but brutal. Abandon multitasking entirely. Commit to single task deep work blocks. Here's why this matters. When you multitask, you create what researchers call attention residue. Your brain never fully engages with any one task. Part of your mind is still thinking about the email you just read, the meeting you just left, the message you need to send. Everything takes longer. Everything comes out worse. You think juggling 3 projects at once saves time. Actually, you're spending 40% of your energy just switching between them, not doing them. So here's the framework. Structure your hour into one uninterrupted block focused on a single high-impact task. No notifications, no email, no quick checks. Just one thing. Imagine this. Instead of spending an hour responding to 20 emails, drafting a report halfway, and attending a meeting, you spend that entire hour writing one complete section of the report. And it's higher quality than a full day of scattered effort would produce. But deep work alone isn't enough. The second strategy determines what you focus on during that hour. The second strategy is applying the 80-20 principle ruthlessly. 20% of your tasks produce 80% of your results. Your job is to identify that 20% and eliminate or delegate the rest. Here's the trap. Most people fill their hour with low-impact busy work that feels productive but doesn't move them closer to their goals. They confuse motion with progress. Most people ask, how can I get everything done? Top performers ask, what's the one thing that makes everything else easier or unnecessary? Let me give you a concrete example. A marketer could spend an hour tweaking email subject lines, updating spreadsheets, scheduling social media posts. Busy, right? Or they could spend that hour creating one high-converting piece of content that drives leads for months. Same time, completely different impact. Here's the mindset shift. You don't need to do more. You need to do less of what doesn't matter and more of what compounds. But even when you know what to focus on, most people sabotage themselves with this next mistake. The third strategy is aligning your hardest, highest value work with your peak energy windows. Here's the biological reality. Your brain doesn't have consistent energy throughout the day. Most people have 2 to 4 hours of peak cognitive performance. The rest? Lower grade focus. You're running on fumes. But here's what you do instead. You schedule tasks based on your calendar, not your energy. So you waste your sharpest morning hours sitting in meetings, answering emails, doing admin work. Then you try to do deep creative work at 4 p.m. when your brain is completely fried. It doesn't work. Here's the framework. Identify your personal peak energy window. For most people, it's the morning, and ruthlessly protect it for your most important work. Everything else, admin, emails, calls, gets scheduled during lower energy periods. Instead of starting the day with inbox cleanup, you start with the one strategic task that will create the most value: writing, problem solving, creating. By the time your energy dips, the meaningful work is already done. When you combine single tasking, prioritization, and energy alignment, that's when 1 hour starts outperforming entire days. But there's one final piece that makes it sustainable. The final strategy is counterintuitive. Build short, intentional breaks into your hour to maintain intensity and avoid mental fatigue. Here's the trap. Most people push through an entire hour thinking endurance equals productivity, but focus degrades after 45 to 50 minutes without a reset. Your brain isn't a machine. So here's the tactical approach. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method, 50 minutes focused, 10-minute break, or align with ultradian rhythms, 90-minute cycles. The key is this: the break isn't lazy, it's strategic. A 5-minute walk, stretching, stepping away from screens, that's not wasted time. It's what allows you to sustain peak performance for multiple hours, instead of burning out after one. These 4 strategies: single tasking, prioritization, energy management, and strategic rest, transform how much you accomplish without adding a single extra minute to your day. Time isn't your problem, how you use it is. And now you have the blueprint. Here's your challenge. Tomorrow, take 1 hour, pick your highest impact task, eliminate distractions, align it with your peak energy. Then watch how much you accomplish. Drop a comment. What will you focus on during your next power hour? Or tell me your biggest time-wasting habit. If you want more strategies to work smarter, not longer, subscribe. Next week, we're breaking down how to eliminate decision fatigue. You don't need more time. You need better systems. Make your hours count.